Hello and welcome to this month's edition of ACS Connect, where we are connecting the dots in health equity. I am your host, Blythe Mooney. As we know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And while cancer affects everyone, it does not affect everyone equally. Racial bias and discrimination in healthcare and in every other aspect of society, as well as differences in insurance coverage, contribute to poor health in many ethnic and racial groups, including Hispanic, Latinx, and Black African American people. Today, we're going to hear from our very own grant writer, Michelle Dunn, who's going to share about her breast cancer journey and resources that helped her navigate obstacles in her care. After the interview, please stick around to hear from our very special ACS volunteer. And for ways that you can join the fight against breast cancer, please visit cancer.org and join any of our MSABC events. Thank you. Enjoy the show. Cancer affects everyone, but it does not affect everybody equally. Here to talk with us today a little bit about her journey is our very own Michelle Dunn, grant writer for the American Cancer Society. Thank you for joining us, Michelle. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your journey and your diagnosis with breast cancer?
Sure. So I was diagnosed at the beginning of 2021. I was 37 years old. I had no strong family history of breast cancer, and I was still in the process of breastfeeding my 1-year-old son. I noticed a lump in my breast, which as a breastfeeding mother, didn't think too much of it initially, but when it didn't go away and when I started thinking about it, it seemed a little different than the typical lumps and bumps you might encounter during breastfeeding, and I started to get concerned. I did a little bit of research on, what to do when you have a lump that won't go away when you're breastfeeding and what this could mean.
Michelle, you mentioned the fear and anxiety when you were first diagnosed, and this is coming from a staff member of the American Cancer Society with a lot of prior knowledge about the disease. And what advice would you give for somebody without previous knowledge, without access to care? What was the most beneficial for you in coping with that fear and anxiety upon your diagnosis?
For me, it was definitely seeking out even more information. I was not expecting the radiologist to give me the news that he did when I had my screening. I thought for sure my age, my background, my previous examination, I thought this was going to come back as something benign. And when it didn't, when he suspected it to be cancer, it knocked me off my feet. And the first thing I wanted to do to ease my fear and anxiety was to get as much information as I could. And that's what helped me feel better, because it put me back in the driver's seat. It empowered me to make decisions about my care. And it made me feel like I had a little bit of control over an uncontrollable situation. And I feel like this is something that that may help other people, that when you get a diagnosis like this, there are so many questions swirling in your head. There's so many things that you don't know will happen with this type of journey, and being able to gather information, ask questions, get facts, weigh options, all of that, it gives you a little bit of a sense of being able to control what comes next, and what moves you can take to really drive your care. And from there, the anxiety and the fear, it doesn't totally go away, but it definitely takes a back seat to okay, this is what I am doing next. This is the next thing I need to get through on my road to getting better.
Michelle, can you talk a little bit about any obstacles you may have faced in access to care, or obstacles in getting approved for procedures?
Sure. So in addition to feeling like things went quite slow in the beginning as far as, spacing between appointments and tests, all of that, there were also some struggles with getting insurance coverage for different parts of my treatment. And this is coming from someone who considers their insurance to be pretty comprehensive. There's a lot of nuances as far as how things are coded and how and why things are approved. And there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on that I never realized before this. But the first couple times I got denials on things that I thought for sure would be covered, it made me kind of dig in and figure out, well, why and how can I change this? And, again, going to cancer.org and finding evidence-based research to support why this should be a covered part of my treatments, and working with my doctors to have these conversations with the insurance company on my behalf. These are all things that I wasn't aware of. I didn't really know what I was even doing. And, here I am working for the American Cancer Society trying to navigate this. But at the end of the day, I feel like advocating for myself is what got me past those obstacles. And again, it's what really renews my passion for helping other women navigate those obstacles for themselves as well, learning how to advocate for themselves and learning how to take control of the pieces of their healthcare that they do have a part in, that isn't just left up to fate. Having the cancer diagnosis, it's something that no one wants. But once you are going down these roads, there's absolutely pieces that you can take a hold of to make sure that your outcome is as best as it can be.
Thank you so much, Michelle. You are an inspiration and so strong, and I'm so grateful that you shared your story. And if it helps one person navigate their cancer journey, what a wonderful thing. So I appreciate you joining us today. I thank you, and I wish you all the best as you continue on in your survivorship.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Michelle continues on her breast cancer journey and is traveling from her Bay Area community to Southern California for treatment. But that is not the case for so many. And so our struggle for health equity needs to continue in earnest. Now, please stay tuned for a very special message from our volunteer, Marie Zoutomou-Quintanilla.
Hi, my name is Marie, and I am a mother of two girls. One of them is Jada Marie, and my second daughter, who will be here on September 15th of this year, Faith Isabella. And I am a breast cancer survivor. I am the face of breast cancer. My journey with cancer started when I was diagnosed at 29 years old. I was told, don't worry, you do not have cancer, from two different doctors. I waited 2 years later just to come to find out that I was stage 3 breast cancer. Till this day, I can remember it was one of the darkest days of my life just to hear you have cancer. I turned to my doctors in American Cancer Society for help. At the time, American Cancer Society was offering, and they still offer, not just the cure, to find a cure for cancer, but they also offer free programs that a lot of people don't know about. Road to Recovery, Reach to Recovery, Feel Good, Look Better, an 800 number the patients can call when they have any questions, for free. All these programs are offered for free. I took advantage of all those programs when I was fighting cancer. And today, I say all of us need to get involved to somehow keep these programs going, these free programs going for the next cancer patients. But most importantly, we need to keep going so we can find a cure for cancer. So I hope by you hearing my story today that you know that there's more people surviving cancer because of organizations like American Cancer Society that are providing, not just to find a cure, but also providing free services for cancer patients and their caregivers. So join us. 2021 is almost over, but let's join and fight against breast cancer and allow some other women just like myself to say, I am the face of breast cancer. Cancer will not win.
I am the face of breast cancer.